Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. I'll preface everything I will say, and I do have many words for you this evening for our service, that I am recovering from a slight issue that is causing me a little bit of, you'll hear it in my voice probably, and, that might not be that much fun to listen to, but I'm going to try and sound as good as I can for you. My apologies. Okay. So tonight is or begins Shabbat Hagadol, the great Shabbat, the last Shabbat before Passover. In a few days, we'll sit at our Seder tables and tell the oldest story our people know, that we were slaves and God brought us out. But tonight we pause on the threshold. The Torah portion, Sav, for this week, speaks of the perpetual fire on the altar, the Eish Tamid, that was never allowed to go out. That image has always seemed to me like a metaphor for what we do every Friday night. We gather, we light candles, as we will in a minute. We are tending the flame. Whatever you are carrying into this room tonight, know that there is a place for you here, and that the fire on this altar, the light of Torah and community, has been burning since long before any of us arrived, and with God's help, it will burn long after. We'll begin our service tonight in song at the back of the book on page 638 with Dror Yikra.
לבנים בת, בצורכם כמו בבת, אם שמכם ולא יושבת, שבו ונלכו ביום שבת. לראש נביא ולנביא, ועוד ישסה עמי, צורם בתוך כרמי, ששבע בני עמי. Roi limpa b'insorchem כמו baba shirchem ולא יושבת שבו ביום שבת רoi limpa b'insorchem כמו baba shirchem ולא יושבת שבו ביום שבת.
And as we turn to page 121 for our reading for the candle blessing and our blessing itself on page 120, it is my pleasure to invite up Tina Allen to light our candles this evening.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you so much. We'll continue now with a song of Kabbalat Shabbat. Shiru Ladonai on page 131.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, אוי אוי אוי, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומעולם מאוד, נורא הוא הכל אלוהים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי בכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל עצי יער, לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט אמת וצדק, ואמין באמונתו, יאללה 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 יאללה.
And before we move into our favorite piyut of Lachado D, first, we have a tradition here at TBS, we schmooze. So I invite you now to turn to someone near you, especially someone you don't know well, and share one thing you're looking forward to this Passover season, or one memory of a Seder that stayed with you. Wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. Originally, I did this for a reason.
Oh, so you use it for that? It's a good excuse for me to get off top of you. They like it, though.
As long as they like it. I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do. They do. It's good. I just can't crack like 20.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. It's also like it's always a bad time because like there's like 3 people who are sick involved.
Yeah.
Hey, Leif.
Good, how are you?
Doing okay. I'm not feeling that well, so yeah, I'm coming down off of it, but I don't want to risk getting anybody sick by being too close to it.
Go home.
Well, I gotta leave the service. I think,
How many other people out there can leave the service?
not enough. That's why I'm teaching that class next month.
Okay.
Hopefully soon the answer will be more than one.
Yeah. And we changed service times next month.
Hopefully the board will talk about it, but I'm in favor of it. So hopefully the board will approve it in 2 weeks or a week and a half at the April 8th board meeting.
That late?
It's the second week of April because the first Wednesday next week is the first night of Passover. So we can't have the
I
board
won't be here for
meeting.
Passover.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm having surgery on my
Oh, goodness.
Friday.
Friday, okay.
Recorded this.
Yes, you did.
Are you looking forward to it? Is it taking? Okay. Very scared.
Well, I wish you refuah shlema in advance. Yes, indeed. Everyone will come back together and take our seats. Just like any wedding.
Do this. No, not lower, just like that. Just to,
Sorry,
you
yeah.
don't have to be so strong. Worth a try, anyway. You know.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Friends, if we can, anytime there's a wedding, it is common that it's difficult to get people seated and ready for the wedding to begin. It is fitting, therefore, that it is equally as difficult now for me to get you to sit down because we are about to metaphorically attend a wedding. In a way, with at least the welcoming of the Sabbath bride. Anyone who's been listening this whole time has been getting a nice little thing going on. Anyone who's just coming in now doesn't know what I'm talking about. Okay. This is the wonderful thing we do here. It's great. Okay. Now that we're all back on the same page, roughly, we'll turn to the same page, which will be page 138 and 139. For Lecha Dodi, as is traditional for us, we'll recite verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we reach the 9th and final verse, I'll invite you to rise and please face the entrance of the sanctuary.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor וזכור בציבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושם הוא תפארת בלי תילה. Yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, בקור הרחה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hidoreri, hidoreri, כי באורך ומיורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, לכבוד אדוני עלייך תגלה. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. בואי ושלום עד ערב בלה, גם בשמחה ובגדולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. We'll continue transitioning to our evening service with Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. I invite you to respond where appropriate. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'amad yivrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'v'zman kariv. Veimeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'lomei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha, brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shihirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amihiran be'alma, v'imeru, Amen. I invite you to turn the page, and if you are able, I invite you to please rise for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach. Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Hamevorach, hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 148 with the English reading of Ma'ariv Aravim, including the Chatimah in Hebrew. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And we'll continue on page 150, singing Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Mishpatim Adonai Eloheinu b'shofteinu ufkumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגי יומם ולילה נגי יומם ולילה אל תסיר ממנו לעולמי ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל
Parshat Tzav is a portion about instruction, about God commanding Moses in the precise details of sacrifice and service. The word Tzav means command, and the rabbis in the Midrash noted that the Torah uses this urgent language when something must be carried across generations, when there is a danger of forgetting. Rashi, drawing on the Sifra, taught that Tzav implies zerizut, a special zeal, both for the present moment and for all the generations that follow. The Shema is that kind of commandment. It is urgent, and it is meant to be inherited. The chain of Jewish memory runs on listening. So let us say the Shema tonight, not as routine, but as inheritance, as an act of transmission. We listen, and in listening, we hand the story forward. I invite you now to please rise on page 152, if you are able, for the Shema, followed by the V'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
The V'ahavta continues on page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. Please be seated. In just a few days, we will sit at our Seder tables and sing the song we're about to sing, Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha is the hinge of the Exodus story. The sea parts. Our ancestors cross on dry ground, and Miriam takes up a tambourine. But notice, they did not sing before they stepped into the water. The Talmud in Sota 37a records a tradition that Nachshon ben Aminadav walked into the sea all the way up to his nostrils before the waters actually split. Action and belief came first, and the song came after. We don't sing Mi Chamocha because the road ahead is clear. We sing it because our people have always found the courage to step forward before the way opens. Shabbat HaGadol reminds us that the night before liberation looked to everyone in Egypt like just another night. They could not see what was coming. They prepared for redemption anyway. We prepare for redemption anyway. Let us sing Mi Chamocha together on page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot kosef eleh, nora tehilot kosef eleh, malachut becha ra'u banecha, הים לפני משה מרים זה אלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד יא ביי ביי בים בים בם יא ביי ביי בים בם יא ביי ביי בים בים בם יא ביי ביי בים bum ay 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 ya bye bye bim bum ay 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 ya bye bye bim bum
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Amen, amen. The Haftarah this week comes from the prophet Malachi, and it ends with one of the most striking images in all of Jewish tradition. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and awesome day of God, and he shall turn the heart of the parents to the children, and the heart of the children to the parents. Redemption in the Jewish imagination is not just an abstract theological event. It's like a family reunion. It's like generations finding their way back to each other. This is why we set a cup for Elijah at every Seder table and open the door for him, because the deepest Jewish hope is not escape from the world, but reconciliation within it. Parents and children turning toward one another again. Hashkivenu asks God to spread over us a shelter of peace. Tonight, as we sing these words, I want us to think about the shelters we are building in our own families and in this community as Passover approaches. The Seder table is a kind of sukkah, temporary, held together by intention and love, open enough to welcome the stranger. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Help us lie down in peace tonight so that we may rise ready to tell the story, set the table, and open the door. We sing Hashkivenu on page 160.
Okay, we'll begin with the Hebrew at the top of the page, and then the English verse is a little squirrely because the translation's a little different, but then don't worry, we'll go right back to the Hebrew at the beginning.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu לשלום. העמידנו שומרנו Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. We continue now with our song of Shabbat this week, celebrating how we shall keep and observe Shabbat. On page 162, we sing Vishamra.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat, לעשות et HaShabbat לדורותם, ברית עולם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית olam, berit olam.
If you are able, I invite you to please rise on page 164 for the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah rav le'hoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, mechatel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofech olim, umatzir azurim, umekayeh emunato lishenei afar, michamocha bagevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, b'ne'emanatah chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Mercifully, it's time for silent prayer. Thank you. I will now invite you to pray silently with the words on the page through 180 or with the meditations of your own hearts, and to be seated when you have finished your Amidah.
Bottom of page 180 with our prayer for peace. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Lisa, amen. Now we turn our attention to those who are in need of healing. In our own community, we think of Margaret Ashworth, Carol Degenhart, Neil B. Erickson, Roger Friedman, Seth Gallitzer, David Gardner, Sonia Goodman, Perry Graves, Paul Hinkle, Kim Kay, Bob Califf, Sidney Califf, Danny Moss, A.J. Packer, Alan Parker, Vivian Parker, Lupe Perez, Stephen Paula Shatera, Barbara Schwartz, Howard Schwartz, Joe Scraper, and Val Vandersloos. If at this time you are thinking of someone who has not been named who is in need of healing, I invite you to share their names with the community as my eyes meet yours, or if you're joining us on Zoom, to please put their names in the chat.
Preston Jane Green's son Josh.
Kelly Perkins and Sally Blaster.
Gwen Heckerthorn.
Francine Sutton.
Patricia Pickering.
We think of all those whose names were mentioned out loud, as well as those we keep in our hearts, and we offer them the words of our tradition on page 371, first chanted by me at the top of the page, then sung by all of us in the middle of that page. Mishaberach avotenu vimotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Zar Rivka Rachel v'Leah Yivarechet hacholim shelanu HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem L'Hachlimam U'Rapotam U'Lachachazikam V'Yishlach Lehem Mehera Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim Refuat HaNefesh U'Refuat HaGuf Hashta B'Gala V'Zman Kariv V'Nomar Amen.
Misheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach imotenu makor habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Amen. We wish them a refuah shlema u'mehera, a complete and speedy recovery. I want to tell you about one of the most beautiful rituals in Jewish life that most of us don't do every year. The night before the first Seder, tradition tells us to take a candle, a feather, and a wooden spoon and search our homes for chametz. Every cupboard, every shelf, under the couch cushions, in the jacket pockets, you're looking for crumbs. And the next morning, you burn whatever you find. Berikat chametz and bior chametz, the search for leaven and the destruction of the same. It is one of the oldest Passover preparations we have, its roots being found in the Mishnah. And I think it is one of the most spiritually rich things Judaism offers us at this time of year, hiding in plain sight. Most of us already do the practical work of getting ready for Pesach. We buy the matzah, plan the Seder, make our reservations for the second night Seder here at TBS. By the way, please, please, please let us know via email ASAP. And
Does it have to be on the second night? Like if someone's having surgery, can it be postponed?
unfortunately, no. We do it the first and second night. But you get two options, though. That's good. And we like it if you do both. But in any event, we also clean out our pantries. Berikat chametz takes all of that effort and gives it the power of ritual. Because the rabbis understood chametz as more than bread. Chametz is literally what happens when dough sits. It puffs up. It gets leavened. It becomes something other than what it started as. The difference between matzah and chametz is not the ingredients. Same flour and water. The difference is time and inattention. 18 minutes of neglect, and what was simple becomes bloated. Any more than 18 brief minutes, and you've got no kosher matzah. The rabbis looked at that and saw a portrait of the human condition. Chametz builds up in us all. It's the resentment that you never dealt with. The apology you owe and keep not making, maybe even the same one we spoke about 6 months ago. We associate soul searching with the fall, with Elul, the shofar, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Too many examples. That is when we do teshuvah, and we should. But Passover makes its own invitation. If the High Holy Days ask, who shall live and who shall die, Passover asks something just as serious. Are you actually free? Not politically, internally. Free of the stuff that is accumulated in you while you were busy with everything else. Rav Kook taught that chametz represents the Yetzer Hara, the evil impulse, the pull towards selfishness and pride. And that searching for chametz is really a search for the hidden faults we have let ferment in ourselves. Spring arrives and Judaism says, this is your chance. Clean house, but not just the kitchen, you. What I love about Berikat chametz is that it assumes you have chametz. Of course you do. You're a person living a life. Search, pick up a candle, walk into the corners you've been avoiding. Look. And then the next morning, burn what you find. There is something genuinely liberating about that. A physical act of release right before we sit down to tell the story of the greatest release in human history. We're 5 days from the Seder. 5 days from telling that story again. But the Exodus is not just about our ancestors. It's about us every year, if we are willing to do the work. So this week, before the first cup of wine is poured, I want to invite you to try something. Search, not just your pantry, your heart. Find the chametz and let it go. Shabbat Shalom, and an early Chag Kasher V'Sameach. And now it is my pleasure to invite up Marilyn Parker to offer the announcements this evening.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
On behalf of our Board of Directors, I want to extend a warm welcome to our guests and members. On this Shabbat, we extend our thanks to Haley McGee for ushering and opening the building, Tina Allen for lighting the candles, Ezra Ginsburg for reading the Kiddush, Doug Myers for hosting the streaming equipment, Brendan Howard for leading our music, Lindsay Moyer for helping host the Oneg, Rabbi Sam Stern for leading our service. Next Thursday, April 2nd, we will gather for our Passover Community Seder at 6 p.m. Please RSVP to the office as soon as you can. We expect all of you to be there. Next Friday, April 3rd, please join us for a woman-led Shabbat service. Stephanie Shatera will lead the music and Hurst Kaufman will accompany. For other upcoming events and other important information, please check tonight's handout, the Temple Beth Shalom website calendar at tbstopeka.org, the monthly bulletin, or the weekly announcements. Tonight's tzedakah will go to Beth Israel Congregation of Jackson, Mississippi. The full article about this tzedakah recipient is in the March bulletin. The tzedakah box is in the foyer. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Now it is my pleasure to invite you, if you are able, to please rise on the bottom of page 586 as we begin our concluding blessings with Aleinu L'Shabeach. Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, L'Tet Gedula L'Yotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu K'goyei Haratzot, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, ואור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. At this time, we think of those loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We recall now in the period of Shloshim, the 30 days, Paul Adriance, Devorah Mildred Levy, and Melvin Levy. We also recall the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the passing of William Garfield, Leah Cartman, Catherine Nowick, Deborah Fink, James Goodman, Dorothy Bittinger, Al Finston, Henry Gartner, Bernard Steindler, Anne Marshall Levine, Alice Traynor, and Francis Botkin Marshall. If at this time you are in a period of mourning or remembering a yahrzeit of someone not mentioned, I invite you to share their name with the kahal when my eyes meet yours, or if you're joining us online, to please put their names in the chat. We think of all those whose names were offered out loud and those we keep in our hearts as we turn to page 598. And if it is your custom, if you are in a period of mourning, and if you are able, I invite you to please rise for Kadisha Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chaye echon uv'yom echon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. Please be seated. Our closing song for this evening can be found on page 657. It is Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. I think getting good at it.
Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.
And now it is my pleasure to invite up Ezra Ginsburg to help us with the Kiddush this week. And you can find the blessing for the Kiddush on page 123.
You just want to sing it? Is that how it is? Okay, do the English first? Okay. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who, finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot in love and favor. You made the Holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your Holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila v'mikraei kodesh zecher l'tziyat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim
ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. L'chaim. And now we will uncover our challah.
Kids do that.
And we have any young people under the age of bar bat mitzvah that can come help us cut the challah? Come on up. We have one, yay. And so will you cut the challah? We will have the adult cut the challah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. You're welcome.
Patei Avon, as we leave here, I wish all of you that your Seder tables be full of people you love and questions worth asking. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And Chag Kasher V'Sameach. And Amen. See you at Oneg.